Hey guys, and welcome to Pint-Sized English. I am Will, the English teacher, and as always, I'm joined by Tom. Hey Tom, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
Well, yeah, I've been better. Yeah, you might be able to see how I look. I apologise, but yeah, I'm a mix of sad, angry, tired, all sorts of things. But as we've mentioned many a time before, we both have a connection to Colombia. I live here. Tom, this is my home. This is Tom's second home, I guess. So really, with us moving forward, we can't continue in good faith to mention Colombia and be so happy and jovial about it without talking about the current situation and what's going on, because it's very important that people outside of Colombia understand and have an idea of what's happening at the moment, because the situation is not good, and yeah, we need global attention and global help, really. So, Tom, before I get into my explanations and stuff like that, have you seen much about Colombia in the States? Have you heard anything about what's going on?
Not in the first few days. I heard about some protests via Facebook and some people that I connect with, but I wasn't really aware of the real situation until we spoke or I heard about it in the last few days.
Yeah. Yeah, so, well, I'm going to give a little bit of an explanation of how we've got to where we are and what's happening at the moment. I'm going to try and keep this relatively short so it's not dragging on, so people will watch the video all the way through. But anything I say, anything objective, I will put links to in the description, so you can look for yourselves, you can draw your own conclusions, and you can see some things here will be my opinion. You can agree with me, you can disagree with me. I don't care, but it's important that people know what is happening. And anything objective, numbers, facts like that, I will leave the sources of where I'm getting this information from in the description below. So, and like I said, this is going to be a bit of an overview. I'd encourage everyone to do your own research, your own, yeah, look into these articles yourselves and see what's really happening. So basically, as a very brief overview, the country has been in a very difficult situation for a long time. COVID and the pandemic has made this 100 times worse. Lots of people are living in very, very, very difficult situations. The pandemic has stopped lots of people from being able to work. For a point of reference, it was the 19th of March 2020 that the first lockdown came, and ever since then we've been in and out. I'm in a very lucky position that I can continue to work online teaching my classes, but there are many people who are not able to do such a thing. For these people especially, the situation has been dire, desperate for many people. Among other factors as well that I will leave links for in the description. However, last week the government put forward a tax reform to try and cover massive deficits in the budget. The idea was to raise 23 billion pesos, which equates to about 6.3 billion dollars, to try and cover some of these holes and supposedly to try and help the people who need it most in society. However, this tax reform was aimed at anyone who earns more than 3 times the minimum salary. For a little bit of context, the minimum salary is about this is monthly, by the way, $250 to $270 per month. So this is aimed at anyone who earns over $660 a month, which in the formal economy, there is a very large informal economy in Colombia as well. But in the formal economy, this is lower middle class and upwards. So really targeted at most people who work. So basically asking telling the majority of the population that they are going to be the people who are responsible for paying into this deficit and sorting out the country, basically. And this did not go down very well. Last Wednesday, there was a national strike organised to protest against this and the government in general. As I've mentioned kind of there, and like the links in the description will show, this is the straw that broke the camel's back. There are myriad other factors that people are not happy about, and this was the breaking point. So from last Wednesday, people were out on the streets protesting. And this has developed and developed and developed. It's continuing until today. Today is Tuesday the 4th of May. And tomorrow there is another national strike planned to continue protesting against the government. Basically, the tax reform supposedly has been removed from the negotiating table. However, it hasn't been removed from Congress. It's still there at the moment. So while they've said that it's being removed, it hasn't officially gone yet. So people are still not very happy. And yeah, that was basically the start of the protest. And that was the reason why many people were in the street. Lots of young people, if you can imagine, a generation that can't see a future. These are young people who don't own anything, don't own cars, property. Very difficult to find a stable, well-paid job. Not just young people, though. There are lots of people. There was a taxi driver protest a couple of days ago. All of these people are in very difficult situations. And yeah, that's kind of where this has started from. Like I said, there are lots of other factors as well, and I encourage everyone to go and read about it and to educate yourself on the other factors that have got us to this point. However, during the protests, and Tom, I'm sure you can see some parallels here between what happened in the States a few months ago now with the Black Lives Matter protests. The police response and the armed forces response, the security forces response, has been incredibly disproportionate to the protests. And you were mentioning to me earlier, Tom, about how you'd had students and you'd seen in some news articles you talk about the protests as a disruption, traffic and things like this, and causing people problems. However, it's completely ignoring what's really happening. I'm going to put some videos, splice some videos into our video here. However, I'm not going to be able to put all of them in because some of them are not suitable for YouTube. Again, I will leave links in the description, and I would encourage everyone to watch them. I would advise discretion as well because some of them are not very nice. But yeah, basically, there is so far, until today, again, there's a link for this. This is from El Espectador, which is a newspaper here. There have been, let me find the exact number so I'm not getting anything wrong. So far, until today, the 4th of May, 19 people have died, 18 of these are civilians, 1 police officer, more than 800 people injured, and 89 people disappeared. Which is exactly what it sounds like. People who just disappear, normally at the hands of security forces. You bundle people into unmarked cars and you don't see them. All of this has been reported. There have been some articles in English. This is one of the reasons why we needed to do this, because there have been. I've seen an article on the BBC. I've seen an article in the Guardian. However, this has not gone as far as some other similar situations have. I see parallels between the US, I see parallels between Hong Kong, and I'm sure there are many other places where this happens, and it's important to get it out there in the world. The police response, as you can see in some of the videos, has been incredibly strong. For example, I've got some here, these are from 2 years ago, but it's the same thing. These are gas canisters that are fired out of rifles to tear gas, basically, but this is solid metal. If that hits you, then you're in a very, very, you're not in a good way. In best case scenario, you're in hospital. So yeah, basically, I don't even know what else I can say, really. It's a horrible situation. People are in a very, very difficult position. The people who are out on the street are being painted by some areas of politics and some areas of the news media as vandals, as terrorists as well. There've been people coming out saying that these are ex-guerrillas who are inside the protests and using this as an opportunity to commit terrorist acts, which is just not true at all. Like I said, a lot of this is my opinion, and I don't expect everyone to agree with me, but I would encourage everyone to read about Colombia, to think about Colombia, and to share news about Colombia and tell the world about what is happening, because this is the only way that this may get better. I don't really see a solution from within Colombia at the moment. Things are going to get worse before they get better. One of the worst places that stuff is happening at the moment is a city called Cali. I'd implore that everyone goes and reads about there, but this is something that's happening across the country and is probably only going to get worse. So yeah, those are my thoughts on the issue. Again, I'm not claiming to be the oracle on this situation or know everything, but these are just what I've seen, what I've heard, and what I've witnessed from my windows as well. So yeah, Tom, do you have any questions or anything you want me to talk about? Really?
Yeah, no, we're not making any argument or any giving any opinions. What I can say is that 19 people dying at the hands of protest is objectively bad, and I don't think either of us would support, mindless vandalism, mindless destruction of buildings. But there is no way you can defend 19 deaths
No.
at the hands of a protest because of a protest. So, yes, this is going to be a little bit different from our normal content, but we can't, in good conscience, continue talking about Colombia, talking about what we are doing here without reporting on what's actually happening in my second home, in his home, what he's dealing with day to day right now. It has to be discussed. So I'm happy to talk about it.
For sure, and also I don't want to make this about me at all. This is I have witnessed these things, but I have to say that I am not there on the front lines like you will see some people here on the videos. There is a protest tomorrow, and I will be there. And I hope lots of any Colombians who see this who believe that this is wrong are there as well to show support for the people who are really there fighting for the cause. But yeah, it's a terrible situation. It's a horrible situation, and I'm struggling really to talk about it. But yeah, like I said before, but please educate yourself on what's happening. Tell people about what's happening. Share articles, share videos. Make this known around the world, because we both love this country. I'm a Colombian resident now. It's my home, and the people here are great people in general, and no one deserves to live through what's happening at the moment. So that's pretty much all I have to say on the matter. Tom, any final comments?
No.
Well, that's it. That's it from us today, guys. And yeah, we'll see you next time. Hopefully it's a bit happier. Bye.
Take care.
Ustedes se creen gladiador al parido, vean. Paridos y hueputas son. Casco,
siempre. Infinitas gracias por este tiempo y por este espacio. Tuni Bababa.
Es lo que están disparando. No les va, les va.
Este casquillo es letal, a 5, a 10, a 15 metros. Ahora imagínense este tipo de fragmentos que son bolonchos, son bolas, son canicas. Solamente por el peso y la velocidad son letales. Con esto nos están atacando, con esto nos están matando. Por eso es importante que los medios, que todas las redes multipliquemos la información, porque nos están dando.
También nos están dando balas de fusil.